The future belongs to young people with an education and the imagination to create. Sourced President Barack Obama, New Economic School Graduation, from thewhitehouse.gov, July 7th, 2009. Hi, my name is Chelsea Melzer, and today I will be talking to you about my Capstone project. This is a proposed PR campaign for VH1 Save the Music titled Summer Series Music Camp. So today I'll be talking to you about my reasons for interest. I'll give you a detailed description of my project. I will share with you my highlights and my lessons learned. I will reflect on my readiness, and I will outline my future plans. So first, my reasons for interest. This is both personal and professional. Personally, music has always been an important part in my life. Growing up, I was always involved in music programs. And professionally, I'm interested in event planning and also with the nonprofit organizations, and the methodology aligns with my interest. A couple courses that were helpful for me before this project was the Human Communications course. This taught me how to write a proper research paper, along with the event planning course. This showed me how, what exactly goes into planning an event, such as budgeting, the actual strategy, and whatnot. So my paper was 25 pages. I had 19 sources. These included scholarly articles, personal interviews, and various news websites. I'd like to thank my faculty sponsor, Dr. Sharon Croft, for all of her help and guidance, and I'd also like to thank my second reader, Professor Jeff Grass. So now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my methodology. I used the PR campaign methodology. The steps are, first you want to have a situation analysis. This kind of outlines what exactly your organization is, its values, what exactly you're trying to accomplish. Next, you want to research your organization. You want to research what exactly is going on. Following that is the strategy. What exactly are the steps you can take in order to implement the PR campaign that you're aiming for with this organization? Following that are your details of your plan. How exactly can you outline your strategy into steps in order to make it an event? Next is the implementation. This is doing what you said you were going to do in your details of your plan. And finally, your evaluation. This is gauging how exactly your campaign went along. And finally, your campaign book is taking all of these documents and compiling them into one tangible document. Okay, so now I'd like to share with you my highlights. So to begin this, I'd like to give you the story of the West Claremont Local School District. This school district was my school district in Cincinnati, Ohio, and in 2010, there was a levy that did not pass. And so when levies don't pass, the first thing to usually go are music programs and the arts programs. And so going back and learning about what exactly has happened between 2010 and 2015, where we are now, is that the music programs, especially in the elementary schools, are completely gone just about. They have a program called the Cultural Arts Light, which is only allowing 2 hours of music a week at these schools, these elementary schools. And so this was distressing to me because this was such an important part in my life, in my learning. So as I did research on this, I learned about the transfer of learning theory by Baisudi and Consina in their 2013 article. This described and outlined that music and academics and life skills all go together and they all build one another. And by implementing music in these academic programs, it actually helps a student learn and grow with their life skills. So this really interested me. And to go along with that, I have a quote from VH1 Save the Music I would like to share. The benefits of music education are astounding, and studies have consistently exposed the tremendous positive effect music education has on a child's academic performance, sense of community, self-expression, and self-esteem. So this aligns with the idea of the transfer of learning, and this was cited from vh1savethemusic.org in 2013. So, like I said, this aligned with the transfer of learning, and it really interested me in doing further research and coming up with my own areas that I would like to research on the transfer of learning. So I came up with 7 different areas. These areas being IQ, math and reading, cognitive development, self-esteem, behavior and discipline, and community outreach and support. So I researched through different articles the way music has improved these 7 relevant areas. And the results all showed how these did, in fact, improve these 7 areas. And so next, I'd like to talk to you about my campaign details. So like I said, these 7 areas all implement into the Summer Series Music Camp. This is a proposed campaign, so I had to think to myself, what exactly can we do to gain support? And while having a personal interview with faculty member Joan Steer, she told me, we're all consumers and must be given a product of interest to gain support. Failing programs need support. And so with this, it seemed with this program, or this campaign, this proposed campaign, we really needed to focus on how to get community support in these programs, especially with the younger ages in elementary school. So my idea for the campaign, this would involve a 4-week program from June to July, and VH1 Save the Music would provide an instrument grant, a budget, and have to work with the school district on staffing. And at the end, there would be a community concert, and this would also provide a fundraising opportunity for the school. They'd be able to buy t-shirts or something in support of this program. And this money would go towards a music grant for the school to implement a music program in the school. So this is a creative and constructive way that I felt would keep kids off the streets, especially during the summer when they're out of school. It keeps their mind working, and so this proposed plan, go for that. And so now that I've talked to you about the highlights of my project, I would like to talk to you a little bit about my lessons learned. Of course, obviously, I learned about the transfer of learning. That was the basis of my project. And I also learned about planning and prep. This was important to me because it taught me to really keep open communication with people that I'm working with, especially with faculty members that I was interviewing from the school. I had to make sure our schedules still worked, they could still do the interview, and that was very important. And also do a project you love. I didn't realize just how much this project meant to me. It had been 4 years really since I understood the politics of my hometown. So going back and being able to experience that and understand what exactly was going on and involving music and my school, it really hit home, and it was a really cool thing for me. So now that I've talked to you about my lessons learned, I'd like to talk about a few of my reflections. First of all, a course I wish I would have taken before this project was the Programs and Campaigns course. This would have taught me exactly how to write a proper campaign. It would have given me a little more experience with that before going in. I took this course towards the end of the writing process, so it didn't do as much as it could have done for me. And finally, find your passion. I found my passion in advocating for music education programs, and once again with my hometown politics, which is cool. Now that I've talked to you about my reflections, I'd like to outline my future plans. I plan to graduate this May 2015, and I will be staying in Columbus. I'll be working. I plan to work in administrative work and eventually go to grad school for student affairs. So now that I've talked to you today about my interests, I gave you a detailed description of my project. I talked to you about my highlights and my lessons learned. I reflected on my readiness, and I outlined my future plans. I would like to leave you with a quote. I would teach children music, physics, and philosophy, but most importantly, music. For the patterns in music and all the arts are the key to learning. And this was sourced by Plato, The Trial and Death of Socrates, 1906. Thank you very much.